What is up? My name is Pup, and I'm coaching the Green Bay Drilburs here in the APL Storm. We are having week 2. If you guys didn't see how last week went, you better go watch that video right now. But spoiler alert, I lost. It was pretty bad. I kind of embarrassed myself, to be completely honest, so we're making a couple changes. They're not coming into effect until next week, but we are doing some free agent activity. I even have new showdown stuff. It's gonna look different. Hopefully it'll look good and work good, and hopefully it doesn't mess me up, but we're gonna try it and just see how it is. But yeah, if you guys really like the new showdown stuff, then please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. You'll obviously see it in a little bit, or you can just skip ahead to the battle right now. I should have it up on the screen, and if it's not, then oh well, sue me, you can find it yourself. But this week we're facing IndirectSwing, and I'm not sure their team name. Sue me, whatever. But they have a very scary team. It matches up great into mine, even though I whine about that a lot. It's just hard in draft, to have a team that matches up great into everyone else's. And, they might not see what I'm seeing. And the same goes, I might not see what they're seeing that makes my team super threatening. But I'll go over the two teams right now. If you guys don't remember my team, I've got the Terra Latias, got Scizor, Pecharunt, I have Terra Tinkaton, I have Crocodile, Inteleon, Thundurus Incarnate, Toedscool, Terrakion, Typhlosion, and Munchlax. While IndirectSwing, they have the Great Tusk, Primarina, Weavile, Revavroom, Ogerpon, Normal Form, I think that's Teal Mask, whatever, I didn't play the new DLC. They have Terra Noivern, they have Suicune, they have Terra Delphox, Mousehold, and Oricorio. And I'm pretty sure that Oricorio can come as any different form at once. And something about this league that you guys should know is that there's free Terra, but it's Terra Preview, so very similar to Zero Zone, except for we have 2 Terra Captains, pretty much. So that's about it. But just looking straight at their team, they have great speed tiers versus me. They have the Noivern and the Weavile. They're going to outspeed every single Pokemon on my team. And Mousehold is 111, which is really good into my team as well. I do think the Mousehold never comes here because it sucks into Pecharunt. And it's also not very good into Tinkaton. But it is what it is. Hopefully they bring it. I'd be pretty happy with that into my double Steel and Ghost. But their team is super threatening anyways. Just with their fast threats, they can destroy me. They can run Terra Normal Boom Burst on the Noivern, and that would really, really suck for me. So it's going to be a tough game. I can't even hazard stack them because they have one of the best spinners in the game in Great Tusk. They also have Tidy Up on Mousehold. I'm not sure what else they have. They probably have Defog Noivern and Defog Oricorio and whatever. I don't know if the car gets Rapid Spin, but it's going to be a tough game for me. So let's just go over what I'm bringing, and you should be able to see all this stuff. I have the Tinkaton, rocking a Rocky Helmet, just in case that Mousehold does come, or even Weavile. This thing can switch in because I'm max defense, so if it triple axles into me, then it's going to take 3 hits, and if it knocks me off, that's fine. I can just Gigaton Hammer and destroy that thing. But I thought it would be really nice to have rocks up in this game. They're probably going to run heavy duty boots on maybe the Weavile, maybe the Noivern, maybe multiple things, but they might not because they have a Great Tusk. The one bad thing about this Tinkaton is that Great Tusk has free switch-ins. So I have Terra Flying just in case I really need to dodge those, whatever, the Headlong Rushes or Earthquake or whatever they run. And then I can knock that thing out. Knock it off, Encore, Gigaton Hammer. I can't do too much to it, but I have some counterplay. Then my second Pokemon is going to be our Latias. The shiny Latias looks beautiful. And we're rocking another Calm Mind Agility set this week. I thought it actually works pretty well. I outspeed everything on their team at +2, and I'm pretty sure I outspeed a Scarf Revavroom, potentially, with this speed. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. I have the battle in just a little bit, so I'm kind of rushing through this. But we're rocking Leftovers and Terra Ghost. Obviously that's bad into getting knocked by the Weavile, but it's good into a Great Tusk. So anytime that I'm Terra Ghost, the Great Tusk cannot touch me at all. And if it comes in, I just get a free Agility or a Calm Mind. And if I'm agility'd up, I'm always going to outspeed the Weavile and be able to knock it out with Aura Sphere, so it doesn't threaten me anyways. So I thought this is a pretty good set. That's why I have so much defense. I also have a good amount of special attacks, so that if I get, I think if I just have one Calm Mind up and one Agility up, I can knock out or 2-hit KO most of the Pokemon on their team, and I should be able to outboost that Suicune pretty easily. Next up, we got Thundurus, rocking a Life Orb Defiant set. Defiant doesn't actually help me, but I didn't need agility. It doesn't matter at all, so I might as well try to scare them if they Defiant me. But with Life Orb, Grass Knot, Thunderbolt, Sludge Wave absolutely destroys their team, and if I get an agility up, I'm going to be faster than like most of the Scarfers on their team anyways. But I mean, I needed to run agility just so I have the potential to sweep through the Weavile and the Noivern. And I'm going to do 1,000,000% to everything on their team. I can always switch into Suicune and just not get a really, really strong Thunderbolt off. They have no switch-ins, because if they go Great Tusk, I just Grass Knot them and they die. Next up, we got the Crocodile, rocking a Choice Scarf Moxie set. I have Earthquake, Knockoff, Stealth Rock, and Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail is obviously here for the Great Tusk, so I can actually hit that thing. I have Knockoff and Earthquake, obviously it's just normal stab, and then I have Stealth Rock doubled up on here and the Tinkaton, just because I thought it would be pretty nice in that game. You know, I have a feeling that they're going to bring either, if they don't bring Specs Noivern, then they probably bring Banded Weavile, or they might even bring both. Because they have the Great Tusk, which is one of the best spinners, they might not rock so many heavy duty boots, even though I have a really good spin blocker, 2 actually in this game. But I feel like Stealth Rock is pretty good against their team. But if I get into a position where I can just like click Earthquake and get kills, then I get Moxie boosts and I can really break through their team or just sweep late game. So I thought that was very important. I'm gonna outspeed a Scarfed Revavroom with this speed investment as well. Next up, we got Petron. I swear, it's Petron. It just doesn't show, you know, new Pokemon. Rocking max special defense. This thing can take on the Noivern pretty well. It also like doesn't do too bad into the like Great Tusk. Doesn't do too bad into the Ogerpon. It absolutely walls that thing. Besides Knockoff. And I thought this is really good into their team. Just getting the toxic spread on them is really amazing. Obviously, I can't hit Revavroom very well, but I have Parting Shot and Hex, so I'm not too worried about that thing. Originally, I wanted to go with like some nasty plot set, but I mean, they have a Weavile that can always probably revenge kill me, unless I would be Terra, but I can't be Terra because my 2 Terra caps are Tinkaton and Latias for now. But yeah, I mean, next week it'll be changing. Petron is going to be one of my Terra captains, which I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be great with that, and it'll unlock a lot more usage. Like I can run him as a bulky water type, or I can run him as like some offensive type that doesn't get destroyed by every single ground out there. Oh well. And then last up, we have Inteleon. I'm rocking a Scope Lens Sniper set. I thought this would be really fun. Snipe Shot, Ice Beam, Psych Up, and Vacuum Wave, which is a crazy set. But with Vacuum Wave, I can pick off Weavile. I have a lot of special defense, so I can live stuff like the Noivern. I think it's a roll to kill me from like a Boom Burst. Forgive me if I'm wrong though. But the most important thing about this is Psych Up. If Suicune starts setting up Calm Minds, I can, you know, get in on that. If I let him get to like, you know, +4 sort of thing, I Psych Up, and then I Snipe Shot, which crits right through their special defense boost, and I destroy that thing 1v1, and then I can really sweep their team from there, especially if the Weavile is damaged. Because then I can, well, I guess it doesn't really matter if I'm +4, but if that Noivern is damaged, or if it Terra normals, then I can pick it off with like a +4 Vacuum Wave, which will be awesome into their team if it actually works. But that's about it for my team here. I'll see you guys in the battle. Alright, what is up? Here's our new showdown. I think this is the first gym in Scarlet Violet. I'm not sure if you can see their Terras, but they have Terra Fairy on the Delphox. I think that's the only Terra cap they brought. But they didn't bring the Noivern or the Weavile, which is absolutely crazy to me. Yeah, I think that's insane. Like, why would they not bring it? But I could see them leading. Well, they have the Oricorio. That's scary. I could see them leading with Delphox for sure. I don't know. I feel like Thunderous is so good in this game. They have to have a Scarf, though. They could also lead with Ogerpon. So it's probably going to be Ogerpon or the Delphox as their lead. It could also technically be Revavroom. It could be. I think I'm going to go Pecharunt here. And I can send off a really hard Malignant Chain on anything unless it's the Revavroom. And if so, I think I just Parting Shot out. I can go to Tinkaton. So I'm going to go Pecharunt. They do lead the Revavroom. And a high horsepower is going to do a decent chunk to me. And they will outspeed. I think I'm just going to click Parting Shot here. See what they opt to do. Could be Toxic Spike Set, which I could definitely see. It could also be some sort of Shift Gear set, which would be scary, but at least I'm lowering its attack. And high horsepower, like, no matter what set they are, even if they're like Adamant Choice Scarf or something, it's not even doing half. Maybe if they're Adamant Band. But if you guys didn't, like, if you guys just skipped to the battle, if you like the new Showdown stuff, then let me know, because if not, I won't do it. Like, I don't know, I think it looks cool. But I mean, I definitely don't have to do the Showdown. I just thought I had to change something up for this week after losing really bad last week. So, I don't know, I thought it would be fun. Let's see what they end up doing, though. Yeah, I really wonder. They have no nicknames either, so, I mean, bad luck for them. It's really crazy that they didn't bring the Weavile especially into me, because I thought it had an insane matchup. It really destroys every single member of my team. I mean, it destroys most of everything that's on this team. So, look, am I, like, least useful members? Who's least useful? Maybe Crook? It's going to be hard to lock myself into anything besides Knockoff. They do have double fairies with the Delphox Terra. Man, they're taking their time with this one. That's alright. And just gives me time to think through. Maybe I should go Tinkaton here. How much would a high horsepower do to my Tink? If it's Adamant, it has a chance at 2 KO. So maybe not go into Tink. Actually, I probably could. And I could either knock off, or I could just set up my Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks do look pretty nice here for that Delphox and the Oricorio. They do set up the Toxic Spikes. Okay. I get them to -1. So I could go Crook here and just go for like the Choice Scarf Earthquake, which is great into their team, or just set up my rocks. But I don't know if I want to get poisoned. Also, they have at least 2 switch-ins. And, I mean, I could click Knockoff. It would actually hurt their team really, really bad if I click Knockoff. No, I'm going to go into Tinkaton here. I don't want it to get poisoned. So I'm going to go to Tink. And if they want a high horsepower, they're, like, they can't really do too much now that they're -1. And I can knock whatever's going to come in, or I can just set up my rocks. I do think that the Great Tusk might come in, so I'm just going to click Knock Off. If I get a Knock Off on this thing, it would be nice as well. They set up another layer. What are they? They're Focus Sash. Okay, that's fine by me. I'm going to knock again. They might just stay in, but they might also just switch out to Great Tusk. I mean, this could be a bad play, but I mean, oh well, if it is. They also are faster. I mean, I'm not a fast Tinkaton, but they're obviously speed invested. But I cannot tell if they're Jolly or not. Based on my knockoff damage, with them having an item, yeah, looks about right for just a max offense. They do see my Rocky helmet. I'm just gonna click Stealth Rock here on this turn. I'm not gonna triple knock. Actually, will I? Nah. Just get my rocks up. If they go out into Great Tusk, I can go Petrun and absorb the T-Spikes. And I'll always live one. Yeah, Headlong Rush, it does about 60, 65% maybe. If they're like jolly. But if they're Adamant Booster, they could do a lot to me, which would suck. But the nice thing is I have Terra Flying on this, so I could always just click Terra Flying. And they don't know that I don't have Terra Blast, which would absolutely destroy Great Tusk. I mean, it probably wouldn't, but it would definitely do a lot of damage. Let's see, if I had Terra Blast and I went Terra Flying, how much would that do? It actually would not do very much to them. Depending on their set, that's max HP that I'm looking at. If they're, I guess I was not calculating them being like a max attack Great Tusk into my Petrun, but I still live. Yeah, I'll always live that. Unless they are like booster or banded. And they were really taking their time on this. But I think my play is just Stealth Rock. They've shown that this thing like doesn't really matter. This Revivroom. And it's shown Toxic Spikes, Iron Head. They go for another one. And I just get my rocks up. Awesome. And at this point, I think a Gigaton plus Rocky Helmet would definitely knock them out. Would a knock? I don't think a knockoff would. Do I care about the damage on this thing? No, I'm just going to go back out into Petrun, I think. Yeah, I want to keep this a little bit healthy just for the Ogre Pawn. In case it does decide to like set up a little bit. I can probably take a hit from +2 Ogre. If they end up being +2 on my Tinkaton, I definitely can eat a hit. So I want to preserve the health. I'm going to go into Petrun, eat up those T-Spikes, take an Iron Head. They'll show that I'm not physically defensive, but I can either Hex here or I can go out into my Lottie and I can just start setting up. As they T-Spike again. I could even go Thunderous and set up an Agility so no Scarfer can outspeed me. But I think the play is the Parting Shot out into Lottie. No, that scares me. I'm going to Hex. I could Malignant Chain predicting a switch, especially because this is not doing very much to me. They just Gunk Shot, does nothing, and I knock them out with Hex. Awesome. And if they go Great Tusk here, I think that I always stay in. If they're max attack Adamant, then they have a 1 damage roll to kill me. And I don't think they know specifically that I'm complete no Fizz Def. They go Oricorio, which is interesting. And this Oricorio, if it clicks Revelation Dance, I'll always live it. Do I want to take it? Not particularly. There are no boots. Do I need this thing? No. I'm going to click Hex. They do Revelation, and I live. Because I'm a beast. Awesome. Do I want to preserve the sack? I think I do. And go Crook. It does a lot into Crook. They're not Life Orb, like this is showing me that they could be. How much did that do to my Peturunt? It did 78. Are they specs? Are they specs on this thing? Timid specs. Yeah, I think they are timid choice specs. And that does a lot of damage into my Crook. I think I just want to let this thing go down. So they get off their Revelation. I think it's pretty free to go out into Crook here. Yeah, it is free to go out into Crook and just click knock. And then I'll be +1. +1 Crook. Like, nothing really wants to take the knock. It'll do a lot to the Ogre. I am worried about a Scarf Delphox in the end, though. So maybe I should just go out into, like, Inteleon and click Snipe Shot. Because really, what comes in next? Like, the Primarina? I guess the Primarina could. You know, I'm going to go out into my Crook, reveal the Scarf, and just click knock. And they don't have a switch into this. They should just sack it off, which will give me a Moxie. If they want to preserve this thing and go out into like Great Tusk, that's fine by me. It'll knock off an item, see if they're booster. And I still have 2 ground immunities. I have Lottie, which is a great switch in. They just let me kill it. Nice. Yep, choice specs. And I get that Moxie. And for the new thing, like my attacks, I'm not sure if you can actually see my mouse cursor, but they're like right under my name, like my Pokemon's name. So it says Sodium and then 100%, then +1 attack. They do go out to Great Tusk. They take that chip. I mean, they'll obviously destroy me with close combat. Do I care? I'm in a great spot right now. And after this, I feel like I can go out into Lottie and set up an Agility. I think I'm just going to knock off this thing at +1. See what they have. They're just leftover set. They spin. Okay. So I get rid of their lefties. I get to keep my Crook around, which is great because Earthquake looks great in the end game. And I can sack off my Tinkaton if I wanted to. Close combat, if they're max attack, will kill me. If not, then I'll be able to live 1 at least. They could be bulk up, but I can always encore them. So I think I'm going to go Tink. I don't want them to click Ice Spinner here into my Lottie. So I'm going to go Tank. If they click Ice Spinner, then they're going to take 2 rounds of Rocky Helmet. And if they switch out, then I'm in a decent spot as long as it's not the Delphox. And if it is the Delphox, I can either knock it off or I can Gigaton Hammer, depending on if I think they're going to tear it or not. And I can also Terra to avoid being KO'd, probably. Actually, there's no set for Delphox here. I think that they're going to be Choice Scarf. Just based on their team comp, they need to have a Scarfer. It could be Ogerpon. They'll knock out my Tink if they're mod a Scarf. Even if I Terra. Wait, no, not if I Terra. And if they Terra into Fairy, then I should be able to knock them out with a Gigaton easily. Alright. They're taking it slow. I feel like I have the upper hand right here. I made a good prediction. I still have rocks on 2 Pokemon. Their spin there tells me that they are not heavy duty boots on that Delphox 100%. There's no way they're heavy duty boots if they just spun those rocks away. And I figured, like I just said in the team builder, that they probably wouldn't bring heavy duty boots with Great Tusk on the team. Which is one of the like good things about having Great Tusk. You feel like you don't have to bring the boots, but it also feels a little bit readable. Do live the CC, and they take a big chunk. And I think Gigaton is actually my best play. It doesn't actually matter. I do just Gigaton here though. Alright. And now I have options. Do I? I mean, they're +1. Let's see. Let's calc how much that close combat did to my tank. It did 42. So if they're like the normal Jolly set, then that looks about right. If they're adamant, they pretty much have to be Jolly, which means that they would be undersped by my Crook. I should be able to knock them out with an Earthquake or an Aqua Tail, but I don't think I want to risk missing the Aqua Tail. Or they just switch into Ogre, which would be a good swap for them. I do knock it out. Perfect. So now I am very scared of Ogre. And if they go into that, then I definitely sack this thing off to get an Earthquake. Because if I do that, then they cannot Trailblaze. Or they cannot Sword Stance plus Trailblaze. And 2 Earthquakes should put them in range of Vacuum Wave by Inteleon. Yeah, it will definitely. They do go Ogre. I can see if they're Scarfed here. If they're Scarfed, they'll always outspeed me. They are not. They take 44. That's a pretty low roll. They knock off my Scarf. Which is fine, because a knockoff will knock them out here. Or they could just try to knock me out, which I feel like is their best play. And Inteleon might just win in this endgame. Not 100% sure. Well, no, because they have Terra Fairy still. They Ivy Cudgel. Okay. Now, I feel like I can go Inteleon and click Ice Beam for free. I could also go into Thundurus and Sludge Wave, which absolutely destroys their team. But I feel like the best option is to go Inteleon. And if Primarina comes in and tries to set up on me, then I can always Psych Up. They could potentially have the Energy Ball, which I think at max HP, it's a roll in my favor to live, depending on their spread. Energy Ball. If they're max special attack modest, then it's a 50% chance. But if they're anything less than max special attack, then I will live an Energy Ball. My Snipe Shot literally does nothing to them though. But I should be able to go into Thundurus and Thunderbolt them. Even if they set up a Calm Mind, I'm going to be doing too much to them, I think. Let me scroll back down here. I feel like their knockoff play was pretty good into my Crook because it also covered a switch. But having all the damage on this thing is nice because it literally gets beat by every member on my team. They do switch hard out into Preem. It takes 8%. Okay. So they could be max HP. Let's see that. No, they have special defense bulk or their assault vest. They might be max special defense actually to take 8%. There are no leftovers, so they could just be assault vest though. Let's calc assault vest with modest and no special defense investment. Yeah, that can do 8%. So I think they're assault vested. I think I just let this thing go down and deal some damage. You know, if I end up critting with Snipe Shot, which has a pretty good chance to do, then I'm doing a good chunk, making sure it's in Thundurus range. I could also sack off my Lottie now, but I don't think I need to. I just Snipe Shot. Don't let them switch out. Don't let them double. I don't need this thing. I think that Thundurus just wins. See how much this Delphox would do to my Thundurus. They take 12% because I don't get a crit. And they Moonblast. That does 1,000,000 into me. Wow. That looks like absolute max roll modest. Yeah, that's the absolute max. Because they're not choice specs. So I'm just going to get some more chip on this thing. And I get a crit, which is nice. And now I can go Thundurus, which is pretty free. And I T-bolt. If they go ogre, then I think I agility. But here I T-bolt. How much does their Delphox do to me with a flamethrower? It doesn't do too much. Down goes Prim. Awesome. I reveal the life orb. Let's see what they go into next. It's got to be Delphox. If they Terra Fairy, then will Sludge Wave knock them out? It is a 93% if they are not invested. But if they're like max special attack modest, they can do a good chunk to me. I don't think they ever kill though. Terra Blast. Yeah. Psyshock just to cover all my bases. Yeah. Even off a crit, I live a lot of the time if they're modest, depending on what they go for. But if they're timid, then I definitely live. I most likely live. And I do think that the right play is to Sludge Wave them. I mean, Thunderbolt's going to do so much. How much do I need to knock out the Ogre on my Lottie? If I get to +2 speed, I won't knock them. But if I get one Calm Mind up, then I should be able to knock them out with that. If I'm +1 and no speed investment, then I 2-hit KO them so I can agility in their face and they don't knock me out with knockoff. Yeah, I mean, this is a complicated endgame. But they do end up going Ogre. I just Sludge Wave. They are Scarfed. Okay, they're just a slow Scarf. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Now that I revealed Sludge Wave, I definitely don't think that they let themselves Terra and then get Sludge Waved. So I T-Bolt hoping for a Para, and it also just does a lot of damage into them. So they're probably not Scarfed on this, actually. They might be Calm Mind, which would be scary. If they get to +1/+1, I mean, I still think I beat them. They are Scarf. They have to be Scarfed to outspeed that. Oh no, they do not. So they're Life Orb. I'm stupid. And I definitely Terra Ghost here. I think I Calm Mind up first. And take a hit. And then I Agility the next turn. I mean, it's scary. Do I Calm Mind first? No, I think I Agility, actually. Make sure I outspeed them first. And then I Calm Mind next turn. I don't think they get any coverage to hit me. They're Terra Fairy, which they probably should not Terra. I always Terra. I almost threw there, because they could have Terra Blasted me and knocked me out. But I Terra Ghost, which means their Flamethrower will be doing a little bit more. They do Terra Fairy. And just Flamethrower. They get a crit. Oh my goodness. I might lose off of that. Oh my goodness. Okay. But if I'm +1 special defense, I should live. But I think I lose. Yeah, that crit is really unfortunate. They're going to take Life Orb Chip, though. So it might be in range. We'll see. If they have Psyshock at this point, it probably just knocks me out. I'd hate to lose off that crit. Because if no crits, I always win this. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Okay. We do live. They're at 71. My story power has like a 70% chance to knock them out. All right, I go for it. I do. Let's go. Okay, so the crit does not end up mattering. GG. Oh my goodness, that was really, really scary. That crit almost got me in the end, but it did not. And we do get a win, so I'm not going to start off 0-2, which is awesome. I really felt like I was out too. But all props to my opponent. They played very well. They prepped well too. I was really surprised that the game got so close after not bringing the Weavile or the Noivern, which I thought trashed my team. But the Primarina was such a big threat, and I didn't really have too much to deal with that in the end game since I let everything get damaged on my team, and I had no Terra. I mean, I wasn't Terra'd yet, so Moonblast would just destroy my Latias. But I mean, it ended up being a really good game, and hopefully I'm able to play Indirect again because they are a great battler, and I think they could definitely make the playoffs. So hopefully I will see them there. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know if you like the new Showdown stuff, because I do. I personally do. I might do it for my PSL playoff video, and I think I probably have another Showdown that I'm doing tomorrow too. So I'll probably do them for there and gauge how it is after this week's thing of videos. So, that's about it for me. See you guys in next week's battle. Peace out.